welcome to the fifth and final volume of the prediction game. Today's pick is When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. Many romantasy enthusiasts have proclaimed this book to be the next ACOTAR, which is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas, or, in other words, the new romantasy sensation that will have everyone raving about it for years to come. Hearing this, I was naturally intrigued, though I am not really a fan of ACOTAR. I thought that I might understand the hype this time around and find myself happily joining the throngs of obsessed fangirls. Let's see what happens then. The creators did not expect their beloved dragons to sail skyward upon their end, to curl into balls just beyond gravity's grip, littering the sky with tombstones, with moons. They certainly did not expect them to fall. As a valued Elden Blade of the rebellion grew Fjord du Ath, Rave's job is to kill, to complete orders, and never get caught. When a renowned bounty hunter is employed by the Crown to capture members of the Ath, Rave's world is turned upside down. Blood spills, hearts break, and Rave finds herself at the mercy of the Guild of Nobles, a group of dual-beaded elementals who intend to turn her into a political statement. Only death will set her free. Crushed beneath a mourning weight, Khan Vagar took the head of a king and donned his melted crown. Now, on a tireless quest to assuage the never-ebbing ache in his chest, his hunt for a moon shard lures him into the belly of Gor's notorious prison, where he stumbles upon something that rips apart his perception of reality. A shackled miracle with eyes full of rage and blood on her hands. The echo of the past sings louder than the creators themselves, and even Rave can't ignore the truths blaring at her from a warmer, happier time. However, there's more to this song than meets the eye, and some truths, they're too poisonous to swallow. In a world where dead dragons become moons, rebellion brews, and Rave, a deadly Elden Blade, is at its heart. She's an assassin who never misses her mark until a renowned bounty hunter crashes into her life. Enter Khan Vagar, a man with a tragic past and a melted crown he didn't exactly earn. He's on a quest for a moon shard, a piece of the dragon moon that might ease his endless pain. Their paths collide in Gor's notorious prison, where Rave is shackled, but far from broken. Forced into an uneasy alliance, they uncover secrets about the moons, the creators, and a forgotten past that ties them together. The fallen moons aren't just a cosmic oddity. They're a warning of something far darker. As Rave and Khan delved deeper, they discovered echoes of a forgotten past, memories of a time when the world was a hall, when dragons soared freely, and when their own lives were intertwined in ways they couldn't yet comprehend. The bond between them grew, fueled by shared pain, mutual respect, and the undeniable pull of something neither could name. But with every truth they uncovered, the stakes grew higher. The creators' secrets were not just dangerous, they were poisonous, capable of destroying something they held dear. By the end, Rave and Khan will face impossible choices. Sacrifices will be made, hearts will break, and the line between hero and villain will blur. Their journey will challenge everything they thought they knew about themselves, their world, and the dragons whose remains still watched over them from the sky. And when the final truth is revealed, it will leave them and us reeling. So, will my prediction hold up? Or will When the Moon Hatched take us on a journey far beyond what I have imagined? There's only one way to find out. The elemental gods Boulder, Claude, Rain, Ignis, and Celis created life and granted humans the power to harness their language and elemental powers. Celis, the god of ether, became jealous of the other gods for being seen and heard, so in his anger, he caused the moons solidified dragons, to fall from the sky. To stop the chaos, the other gods imprisoned him, halting the moon's descent for a time. In the present, Rave, a disguised assassin, kills a man named Tarek, cutting off his hand to free captive children. Khan, a mysterious figure, watches her but doesn't intervene. Later, Rave learns about a bounty hunter named Rek, hired by the king to kill her. Simultaneously and through diary entries, we learn about Eloing, a girl who desires a dragon, and her brother Hadian, who embarks on a dangerous journey to claim one. As they succeed, Hadian is paralyzed, and Eloin gains the ability to hear the gods. Back to Rave. In the present time, she finds her friend Essie dying from an attack by Rek, the bounty hunter, and in a fit of rage, the dark entity within her, named the Other, takes over, leading to a violent rampage. However, Rek wounds Rave, and she is captured and imprisoned. Khan later attends her trial and votes for her execution. At the Colosseum, just as Rave is about to be executed, a massive dragon swoops down and rescues her. Khan turns out to be the dragon's master, who ordered him to take Rave to his home, the Kingdom of the Burn, where he reveals his painful past. He admits he executed his own father to protect someone he loved. Her name was Eloin. She is now dead. He also realizes beyond doubt that Rave and Eloin are one and the same, but keeps that information to himself since Rave clearly has no recollection of her past or her identity. Rave tries to kill Khan but finds herself drawn to him instead. He takes her to the Burn's capital city, where his friends and sister recognize her as Eloin. Through Eloin's past journal entries, it's revealed that she could hear all four gods, meaning that she could control all four elements. Once, many years ago, she was in love with Khan, before later leaving him for Tyroth, the late king's other son and Khan's younger brother. Not only that, in another journal entry reveal, Eloing, aka Rave, admits to being pregnant with Khan's child before later leaving him against her will for his brother Tyroth. That child, now grown, became the Princess of the Shade, another kingdom. She has no knowledge of her true father and is now imprisoned by a new character who claims to be the bastard son of the late Burn King. Rave still refuses to face her past and gain her memories. Khan has no earthly clue that he sired a child with the woman he still loves, and the child herself, the princess, is held hostage for a vendetta that's none of her fault. As for us, the readers, we are left with a major cliffhanger and an equally major headache. Believe me, I am aware of how confusing that spoiler section was. I tried my very best to condense all the events into something quick and digestible, and that was still the best I could come up with, which tells you a lot about this book. It's, to put it mildly, a lot to take in. Suffice it to say that the glossary alone is about 15 pages long. But before I get into my opinion of the book, let's talk about how accurate I predicted its events. The answer is not accurate at all. I can summarize the main divergence points into two things. One, the bounty hunter is not Khan, as I expected. It's somebody else entirely. Number two, Khan and Rave were never really enemies. Their love story starts before the book even begins, and so it's more of a second chance romance trope than an enemies to lovers. As for the other details, they're all wrong as well. But seriously, there's no way in hell I could have predicted what happened accurately if I were a psychic. But the rules are the rules, and so I must admit that this prediction was a phenomenal failure. Right. When the Moon Hatched is 718 pages long. This page count is definitely a challenge, and the author took it upon herself to make things even more challenging for her readers by completely reinventing the wheel. In this universe, Earth does not orbit around itself and the sun, which produces, as you know, days and years. No, there are aurora ribbons rotating around the Earth, which people use to mark their days. And no, not days with a Y, days with an E for some reason. There are also slumbers, which mean nights, but we had to change the name. And phases, which are the equivalent of years. A 24-hour period is called an aurora cycle, and a phase is 1,000 aurora cycles long, not 365 as you'd expect. Anyway, you get the gist. And that does not cover the magic system, the geography, the history, the many deities, etc., etc., etc. Your head will spin, I promise. If you think that's enough challenges for one book, then you're wrong. Sarah A. Parker decided to adopt the most pretentious, over-the-top writing style possible. I read a comment on Goodreads that says, it's like the author opened a dictionary and searched for the rarest synonym for each word before then proceeding to use it, which of course I agree with that completely. I like me lyrical, sophisticated prose, but this was done both exaggeratedly and poorly. Many times you'd read a whole paragraph just to realize that you don't even know what any of it meant. Just words strung together with no real sense to them. Another issue is the melodrama. The main characters are constantly feeling like their hearts are being burnt or ripped out of their chests. These hyperboles are so frequent throughout the book, which subsequently makes them lose all sense and effect. I am not done, but I think that's enough roasting for now. I'd like to point out what made me push through till the end of the 718 pages. I found Khan's love for Ray very raw and painful. I am a sucker for a smitten, love-sick man like that, and so I did swoon at all the passages where he groveled. Rave acted like an immature fool all along, refusing to see reason and hell-bent on running away all the time, but he was very patient and very accommodating to her foolishness. I like that. The plot is interesting as a whole, but falls victim to an unclear, confusing world-building and an off-putting writing style. Unfortunately, I decided not to read any future installments of this book. I rated it 3 out of 5 stars. With that, the prediction game reaches an end. I hope you found the concept interesting and the execution entertaining. I will be seeing you soon with new ideas. Take care.